The spiritual reason you're stuck in your business and you're not making the money that you want, it's not that you're not working hard enough or that you're not on purpose or that you're not high vibe enough. It's actually because you're neglecting and you've pushed down a part of you. And this part of you is like key. It's the part of you that is magnetic, that creates ease. It's the part of you that is abundant. So if you push down the part of you that is naturally abundant, you can't live an abundant life because your external reality is a reflection of your internal reality. In this video, I'm going to share with you exactly what this part of you is, why you've pushed it down without realizing it, and how you can reclaim it. How you can start leading with this part of you that is incredibly wise. And this shift, this new way of operating, of leading, of working in your business is something that I have helped so many women entrepreneurs do. And I have a lot of my clients that once they understood that, suddenly they went from 0 to 10K months, from having a 7-figure business, but feeling so drained, so stuck, so controlling, to having a 7+ figure business, but with so much more ease, so much more playfulness. And if you don't reclaim and reactivate this part of you, this is actually going to lead you to burning out, to feeling so depleted, not making the money that you want, maybe even get sick. This is also what happens. I've had clients come to me, this is where they were at. Eventually you might wonder, I'm not sure I'm cut out for this. And that would be so, so sad, because if you are a spiritual woman entrepreneur and you have a business, it's because you have a mission. It's because you are a key for someone else. It's because your story is someone else's medicine. Your gifts are someone else's medicine. We are all keys, activators for each other. And so I'm here an activator for you because I'm going to help you reclaim the part of you that's going to help you be the activator that you came here to be for others. I'm going to help you reclaim the part of you that's going to help you live your purpose, be soul aligned, and make more money and more impact. So what am I speaking about here? We live in a world that is extremely masculine. And so that doesn't mean ruled by men. It's really about masculine qualities. Because we live in a world that is all mind over matter, facts over emotions, logic over intuition. And that is really doing you, if you are a woman, and especially if you are a spiritual woman entrepreneur, that is doing you a huge disservice, because you've been taught to do life the masculine way. Even a lot of the spiritual teachings are masculine, made for men. This is why there's such a rise now of the feminine, the goddess, sacred feminine spirituality, because we are remembering who we really are and that we function differently. And while that's true in the spiritual community, that's also true for your business. And so you need to reclaim the feminine way of leading. And that means you need to reclaim your feminine energy first, your feminine essence, because your feminine is the part of you that lives with ease, that receives, that magnetizes, that is abundant, that is soul embodied. So you can imagine if you're letting go or pushing down unknowingly because you just have not been taught that there was a way of doing it with the feminine. So you're pushing it down, the part of you that receives and magnetizes, then it's no wonder that you're not receiving the money that you desire, that you're not magnetizing the clients that you desire. I remember when I learned and realized all of this, I was at a place in my business where things were doing okay, but I wanted to make a bigger impact. And I was so tired of controlling, of pushing, of forcing, of always being the one that had to make things happen. And I felt like I needed to learn to surrender. And that's where I realized about these polarities, because the masculine is really all about doing, doing, doing. It's a very outward energy. So every time you're outward, every time you're working, every time you're doing, every time you're creating, I mean, it depends how, but it's a very outward energy. And masculine energy is warm energy. And so if you're always doing in that warm energy, it eventually burns you out. Our language even knows about it. Feminine energy, it's cool energy. It's more about doing. It's more about being, receiving, flowing, surrendering, following your intuition, magnetizing, grounding. And it's leading from your heart, from your vision, because the feminine's the visionary. The masculine is the support system to allow the vision to come into matter, to be born. So it's not that we want to push down the masculine. We really want to have a sacred dance between the two. Like, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to need that masculine energy, but you're going to need it at some times, not all the time. As a woman, you're also a cyclical being. Like, always being go, go, go does not work for you. It's not honoring who you are. It's pushing down your feminine needs, and it's pushing down your feminine energy, aka the part of you that magnetizes and receives and is abundant and in flow. So if you're at a place right now and you feel that you're pushing, but things are not happening, you're hustling, you're forcing, you're showing up, you feel depleted, you feel tired, you feel burnt out, you want more ease, you want more flow, you know you're here to make a big impact, but it's not there yet. All of these are signs of an excessive masculine energy, and you absolutely need to learn to reclaim your feminine. Because like I said earlier, if you don't reclaim your feminine, you're going to end up being burnt out. So how do you reclaim your feminine? Where do you begin when you want to lead with your feminine? I teach all about that in my free training From Hustle to Ease, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek into what that is. And if you want to go deeper, I invite you to look at the link that's underneath this video so that you can watch. It's a 60-minute free training where we're diving in depth, and you're going to leave with a super simple and actionable plan, like step-by steps to reclaim your feminine in your business once and for all. And so the first thing that I want you to do is to heal your feminine wounds. So what do I mean by that? When we are too much in our masculine, it's often because we are also in our wounded feminine. So the wounded feminine is the part of you that is afraid of being too much and not enough. It's the part of you that people pleases. It's the part of you that fits in because you don't want to be rejected or judged. It's the part of you that has soft boundaries because you want to keep the peace. So you have a tendency to abandon yourself to keep the peace, or give others what they need so that you can be at peace. But then that doesn't always honor what you actually want or need. It's the part of you that can sometimes feel like a victim. Why is this happening to me? Or you feel like the world is against you, or you're hitting this invisible ceiling as if there was an invisible hand that was holding you down and preventing you from growing. Well, that invisible hand is actually a reflection of you within, because your external reality is a reflection of your internal reality. So all these shifts need to happen within by reclaiming your feminine energy, your divine feminine, actually. And so that journey really begins by moving away from your wounded feminine to your divine feminine. That's the first step. And that journey activates what I call the gift of authenticity. I speak about it in this book, the gift of the path of femininity, the 6 gifts of your sovereignty. This is the title of the book. And in this book, and in the training as well, I speak about the 6 gifts of the feminine. And these gifts are innate abilities that you had when you were born. But because we live in a masculine world, these abilities and ways of being have just been pushed down. Because you were taught that if you wanted to make more, you had to work more. And we have all these beliefs that society has put on us that has made us just always be go, go, go. But we end up burnt out, feeling misaligned, and not making the impact that we know we came here to make. Because as a woman, you have a vision. You have a strong intuition. Your cerebellum, actually, the part of your brain that is the seat of your intuition and your emotions, is 11% bigger than in men. Because you are designed to be more intuitive, more soul-led. So if you're not leading with your soul, you're ignoring who you are. And then you wonder why things are not working. Or when the vision, what you know you came here to be, is not unfolding, right? So I really invite you to heal your feminine wounds and to activate the first gift of your feminine, which is the gift of authenticity. And you're going to activate your authentic frequency. Now, scientists have proven that that is the strongest frequency, the strongest energy that you can be in, even stronger than love. You heal your authenticity wound. We can also say it like that. When you heal your 3 feminine wounds, your witch wound, your bitch wound, and your heart wound. So if there's a part of you that's going, oh, what are these big words? That's actually done on purpose. Not that I've chosen these words for these wounds. This is actually how they are spoken about within the spiritual community and how they have been determined. But the reaction that we have to the words witch, bitch, whore are designed by the patriarchy that we live in. Because it pushes you away. There's so many images that come up when we hear these words. You know, if I say the word witch, what comes to your mind? Is it a woman dressed in black with a hat and like, you know, things on her nose and she doesn't look really beautiful? That's how she's been portrayed and cast out. The truth is that a witch originally is a woman in her power. It's a woman who knows who she is, who knows what her gifts are, and she uses her gifts to serve, to help. Witches were herbalists, midwives, psychics, but they were using their gifts to help heal others. But there was so much control around the medical world that women could not be doctors, could not be healers, because they hadn't gone to university. So how could they possibly help heal others? This is really where it comes from. So they would go in the woods and they would heal there, but it was forbidden. So they became outcasted. I mean, there's so much more to the story of witches, which we're not going to dive into today because that's a story for another podcast, for another video. But this is present in every single woman. And this translates today as your fear of being seen for who you really are. Your fear of being in the spotlight. Your fear of being too visible. Your fear of using your gifts to help others. Your fear of being too weird, too spiritual, too out there. Because all of that was not safe in the past. And that fear, you carry it in your DNA. Because it was the fear of your grandmothers, great-grandmothers, great-great-great-grandmothers, and all your ancestors. But it was also you in past lives. And so that translates today as playing small, fitting in, not showing all of who you are, not being fully authentic, changing your voice or changing the way that you speak when you record a video or when you do stories on Instagram. But your ideal clients, your soul clients, they will only be able to see and recognize you when you show the true you. And so healing your three feminine wounds, facing those fears, letting go of this transgenerational and karmic wound is really necessary to fully step into your purpose, to make the money that you want, to be magnetic, and to be authentically you. So I really invite you to sit with that, face your fears, transmute it. I'm sure you have lots of techniques to do that. And if not, I highly, highly recommend that you watch my free training From Hustle to Ease. Again, I'm going to put the link underneath this video, and it's just 60 minutes. And in those 60 minutes, you're going to learn the 3 biggest mistakes that I see spiritual women entrepreneurs make. And that is preventing them from having a 6-7 figure business. And what to do instead of these mistakes. You're also going to learn how to fully reclaim your feminine energy. You're going to leave with a simple, actionable plan to reclaim your feminine energy in your life. And you're going to learn the journeys of some of my clients who have gone from 0 to 22K months, from having a business that was okay but not super fulfilling, to then selling it and creating another 6-figure business that was soul aligned, from having a 7-figure business but that felt awful, into having a 7-figure business with ease and flow. You're going to hear the stories of all these clients, all these spiritual women that I've worked with, and that reclaiming their feminine energy made life-changing transformations. Because in the end, it's so much more than just reclaiming your feminine. It's about reclaiming who you are. Because you are a feminine essenced being. And living in a world that praises masculine qualities is denying who you are. So we don't want to do things that way, because that's always going to lead you to feeling misaligned, and eventually burnt out, and eventually wanting to quit and not making the impact that you know deep down that you came here to make. So if you can start to lead with your feminine, with the part of you that lives in flow, that trusts, that surrenders, that follows her intuition, that leads with her soul, that co-creates, that knows how the co-creation process unfolds with the divine, that receives, that magnetizes. If you lead with that part of you, not only are you going to honor who you are and so feel much more fulfilled, but you're also going to make so much more money as a result. So I hope you'll watch this training, because I know it is going to be 60 minutes very, very well spent. I promise you, it's free, and you just need to click the link that's underneath this video. And yes, disclaimer, I am offering you at the end of this training to join a Sacred Feminine Reset, which is my foundational course, but I'm teaching you the foundations of that course already in the training. You're gonna leave this training with so much things to do. And so it's only if you want to go deeper, it's only if you want me to support you more, then there's this foundational journey and course afterwards. But for now, just have a look at the training. You'll be amazed by how much there is in there and how activating it is, so that you can be an activator as well for others. So much love, and I'll see you in the next video.